What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Rush and my channel. This is the first video ever I have posted for this channel, and I am a cryptocurrency trader, and I will be doing regular analyses on my top setups on altcoins and Bitcoin. So make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and like this video, as you guys don't want to miss out on my future updates and analyses. So a little background about myself. I have been a trader on cryptocurrency for about a year now, and I have been seeing some improvements on my accounts, ideas, and my account financially. But I am not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice. So please do your own diligence before you invest or trade in this market, as it is extremely risky. So let's begin. I am going to be talking about my top 5 setups today, and we're going to start with Bitcoin. Now on Bitcoin, you see that it has just broke out again out of the 12K mark, but now it's pulling back, and I see it's trying to come back up to the 12K level. Now this is on the hourly chart. So we see that on the hourly chart, it is below the 21 MA, which is the blue line, and the 50 MA, which is the white line. So it is trying to get back up above that. But on the 4-hour chart, it is also below the 21 MA as well, which is the blue line, and it just bounced off the 50 MA. So it is kind of stuck in that range for now. So in terms of getting into Bitcoin, I don't think it is a very good idea until we get back above the 21 hourly, because those are your resistance levels currently. You have your 21 MA on the hourly and your 50 MA as resistance. So if it does not get back above that, I would not be looking for an opportunity to get in. If it does get back above these two levels and the 4-hour 21 MA so far, then that would be an opportunity to get back in. So previously on Bitcoin, it has just broke out of this ascending triangle that has been in for quite some time, since August 2nd, and the breakout target of that triangle is 13,554. That was my target, which is basically you take the opening of your triangle and you would add it on top of your breakout point, which is about 12,000. So I would not be looking into getting into Bitcoin unless your price action is on top of these two moving averages. But not financial advice. Now let's take a look at the bigger time frames and see what if there are any red flags that we should be paying attention to. So on the weekly, we see that there is a increasing price action, increasing price with decreasing volume. So that to me is not a very good confirmation, because that means that there are fewer buyers at a higher price. So it could be that the price action might just collapse on some of these higher price levels. So I don't feel comfortable with getting in, looking at the weekly, by looking at the volume trend right here, along with the increasing price. So that is something to pay attention to when looking for an opportunity to get in. Now on the daily, we are seeing basically almost that trend, with increasing price and decreasing buying volume. But at the 12,000 mark, I do see an increase in volume. So that is that's one good confirmation, but let's see how the trend plays out. I don't think one day's volume it's gonna tell quite a bit, but it is a good start. So on Bitcoin, I would look for the price action to get above some of these moving averages as resistance, and then reevaluate before getting back in. By reevaluating, I would like to see that the RSI does not have any kind of divergences, or if it's not way overextended as well. So currently, let's take a look again. On the weekly, we do have the RSI that is going into the overbought direction, but not yet there. But I do not see any kind of divergence on here for this week so far. So that is in the clear for me. On the daily, you do have bearish divergence with the last green candle over here on August 17th, yesterday, comparing to the August 10th green candle high. So there is a bearish divergence there. So that is something to look to be aware of, and you might want to check if the next few daily candles are going to be probably red candles because of this bearish divergence. We're good on the 12-hour, but that daily bearish divergence on the RSI does concern me, so it's something to look to be aware of, and I might actually want to see if that bearish divergence plays out, and if it lands on the 21 MA daily. So that is my analysis for Bitcoin. Now let's move on to Ethereum. Now Ethereum has broken out of the 400 level a few days ago. It was also an ascending triangle pattern. With a price target of about 500. That's my price target, which is basically the opening of this ascending triangle, and then you put it on top of the breakout points. Now, it's forming some kind of a bull flag so far. So I think I would check on the RSIs. So it is overbought on the weekly. That's something to pay attention to. It is also overbought on the daily as well still, even though it has came down from this high right here. And there's also bearish divergence comparing with the August 5th high. So that might be playing out right now, as you do see quite a bit of a collapse in the pricing over there. That might be the bearish divergence playing out on the daily. Now, I would be interested to see where this bearish divergence price action bounces. To see that, you might want to check for what I would like to check are the moving averages that's closest or that's underneath the price action right now. There's one at 415 almost. The next level down would also be about 415. That is the 4-hour 50 MA. Now these are just the time frames I like to look at because I have found them to be the most helpful. But of course, you can look into the intermittent time frames as well. But I don't want it to get too messy. But that's just my way of doing it. You have your next level down at 407, the 6 hour 50 MA. So it just really depends on where this price action falls. But currently it is underneath some resistance as well. So I wouldn't really get into this unless I am above all of the hourly and daily, and of course the weekly moving averages. So there is no real resistance above the price action. So I would probably look into getting to Ethereum either at the breakout of this bull flag, of this pattern, or once it is above all the moving averages on the hourly and weekly, of course, and reevaluate from there. Now let's look at the next coin, which is Compound. I also have a position in this right now because it is a falling wedge, and I do think this is a good hold idea, but that's just me. So this has had quite a bit of a run up in the last week, and it is coming down from that run up. It is currently in between some of the resistance levels in moving averages. So the most obvious one that we're seeing is that it just got above the 21 MA hourly moving average, and now the next one level to get over would be the 198. So the next level of resistance, the highest level of resistance right now is at 198, which can be seen as the 1 hour 200 moving average, the 4 hour 50 moving average, and the 6 hour, which is about the same level. It's about just right underneath 200. So when it gets back above 200, that's where I would be bullish again on trading this coin. But like I said, I am holding on to this position right now because I don't see any other setups on the altcoins that may have that explosive breakout. Now let's check the RSI on this coin. Also, this coin is on a falling wedge, so it's supposed to be a reversal pattern. So it breaks upward. In terms of probability, it usually breaks upward. So that is why I'm holding on to Compound. Now let's check for any red flags that might make me think again. Now we had quite a bit of a bottoms here, but no divergence on the bottoms. So not clear bullish divergence, but it has had quite a bit of a bottom trying to get into that oversold area, but it seems like it is getting quite a bit of an oversold bounce back up to that uptrend lines on this falling wedge. The breakout target, I have the breakout target of this falling wedge to be about 250. But I would definitely get out before the full target here. So I do have a take profit target at about 229, which is because it's underneath quite a bit of candles, and I think that's a good place to take profits before any significant resistance on these candles right here. And then my next point to take target, to take profit, would be right underneath these candles right here, where you see quite a bit of resistance. So between 240 to 250. That's my next level of taking profits, where I would expect some pullback. Now let's check the RSI on compound and see if we find any red flags. We do see that on the weekly, since it is quite new on Coinbase, it doesn't even have an RSI reading yet on the weekly. On the daily, it has came down from its previous overbought position of just right up here on August 12th. Now it came down, resetting the oscillators due to the falling wedge that is in. So that looks okay on the daily charts, but things could change pretty quickly, as I have seen, because at first I had this charted out as a descending triangle, but very quickly just turned into a falling wedge as price action just continues lower. And what initially worried me was that it just came down out of it just breached the 12-hour 21 MA in one try. I would expect to at least see some kind of a bounce on the 21 MA on the 12-hour there, but just the fact that it just breached it in one try, that kind of concerns me. So I will be looking out on any changes on this setup, and it could be quite risky as I have traded this coin quite a bit in the past, and this can go very quickly either in your favor or against you. So it's a very risky coin to trade, and you really have to be paying constant attention. But what I do like about this coin is that, as you can see here, it has bottomed out on quite a bit of a decrease on a few consecutive weeks of downward price action here, and it finally found some support here at about the 125 level. And while the price action is increasing, you are seeing the volume increasing as well. So that kind of gives me some confidence on staying in this coin. But of course, the price action could change so fast, so you really have to be constantly strategizing on what you would be doing when the price action changes. And on this week's price action, you do see quite a bit of a pullback here, but with considerably, as of now at least, if I extrapolate this to the rest of the week, less price action. So, on a higher price, but with less seller volume. So that is kind of what gives me a little bit of a confidence to stay in my position here on compound. And if this turns out to be a green can, if the price action just accelerates lower with a higher seller volume, that's what's going to worry me and make me think twice again. But as of now, it does seem like things are playing to my expectations. On the daily chart, you kind of see the same thing. You see, this nice price increase trend with increase in buyer volume. And on the daily as well, you would see decrease in price and decrease in seller volume with a reversal just as of yesterday, actually today, but finished just an hour ago, actually a couple of minutes ago, with a green candle. So hopefully this will be the reversal and the breakout, but we will stay tuned and always have my stops in place just in case anything falls out. But on the daily, the RSI is good. As I said, I do not see any overbought RSIs on the time frames I am used to looking at. So I don't see any red flags there. And as we're talking right now, this is continuing higher. Now let's move on. We have seen quite a bit of excitement in Link for the past week, and honestly, I did not think it was going to keep going up like this, but currently it's having quite a bit of a pullback. I did not catch that oversold bounce over there, but it would have been a nice catch. So currently, what I usually do is when I see price action, I do like to kind of sketch out what I think the price action, the pattern that the price action might form. To be conservative, I did a symmetrical triangle right here, because I want to be conservative with the top, but of course it can change. And I don't think there is much an opportunity for me to get in right now, just because you have quite a bit of resistance up here with your moving averages. You have all three of your moving averages, your 21, 50, and 200 above your price action. You're also below your 4-hour moving averages as well, so I would presume that you would take some time to get over these resistance levels, and I would not even consider getting in at about just the apex of this triangle if this triangle stays intact. But of course, the pattern can change, and we'll see what that forms, but I don't think in the near next couple of, maybe like by the end of this week, there might be some kind of precipitation on which way the breakout would go towards. But a symmetrical triangle with an upward trend usually breaks upward, but of course this is not even a set symmetrical triangle, it's just my estimate. Let's look at the bigger trend here on Link. It is way overbought on the weekly, so that's what is going to worry me. I'm not sure if it's going to come down at any time, but I do see from the last 3 weeks of price action increase that you had increasing price and increasing buying volume, so that is some very strong buying volume over there. Not really sure if that's going to defy the RSI here, but that is something to keep an eye on. But this is not something I would get into immediately right now. We're going to see how that symmetrical triangle plays out. Let's look at the next coin here. This is Atom, and currently it is in a decreasing channel, so I don't really see a setup here, because you're really just gonna play a range here. I'm not really a fan of ranges, especially with quite a bit of resistance in between your price action. So it's not really gonna be. It's gonna be quite a bumpy ride if you play within these ranges, and that is not really what I'm looking for. That is my top 5 that I am actually keeping an eye out on. Let's see what was enticing me to Atom anyways. So we do see quite a bit of an uptrend on the weekly. I gotta fix these lines. These are my Fibonacci levels. So I do see what enticed me to Atom was the increase in price action and increase in price with increasing interest and buyer volume. So it's something to keep my eye out on. And also, the RSI is not in overbought territory. It was for a little bit, like a tiny little bit, but now it's come back down. So it's something to keep an eye out on. It's definitely not on a. I don't think this is on a pullback on the macro trend. So this might just be a. I mean, this is a small pullback. I would think. About 5 days left on this week, so might want to look for a nice entry point. Just from a very preliminary estimate, I would think it's going to stop somewhere around here, 5.274. That's just because it was the last support and resistance flip, but not financial advice. That is just my estimate, and I would reevaluate what the pattern is going to be like when it gets to a support. But on the macro trend, it looks pretty nice. Definitely want some more information before looking for an opportunity to get in. So we're going to just let this decreasing channel play out. So these are my top 5 setups I have on my watch list. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I would love to hear your feedback and connect with other traders. And like I said, you guys always got to do your own homework before investing or trading, as this is very risky and things could change very rapidly. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next. Thank you.